Hello everyone, today in this video we will study a poem The Dust of Snow. It is written by Robert Frost. Before starting the poem, let me introduce you to the poet. Robert Frost is a modern American poet. He has written a number of poems and in his poem, two themes are most importantly discussed, and most of the poem concentrate on these two themes only. That is nature. The first one is nature, and second is he refers to the complexities of life, and that too in life. About life, he writes something which is related to day-to-day life. And you may call he is a nature poet. Now coming to the title of the poem, it is Dust of Snow. Dust and the word snow, both the words are quite clear to you. It's quite easy word. But the thing is, why dust has been used with snow? As we all know, dust is the finest particles of soil, but here it is used with snow. So what is the significance of it? Here dust means the finest particle of snow, and here in this context, in the context of this poem, it refers to the finest particle, the particles of snow. So this particles of snow, you will see in the text that it plays a very significant role. Now the poet, through this poem, has tried to narrate a very insignificant incident which we all tend to ignore in our day-to-day life. Daily we encounter with number of situation, number of incident, but we ignore it, but we used to ignore it. But at the same time, this poet Robert Frost, in this poem, he encounters that same sort of ignorable situation, incident, but instead of ignoring it, he notices it, and that incident brings some major difference in his life. So through this poem, the poet has tried to say that no doubt life is full of number of incidents, but we used to ignore it, we treat it as a trivial one. But sometimes those incidents only bring a major difference in our life. Now moving to the poem, let's see how he has expressed his experience through this poem. This is the first paragraph of the poem. It reads, "The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree." So in this paragraph, in this stanza, we have been referred to a natural object, an entity, that is a crow, a bird, and the second object, that is hemlock tree, a tree. And the third character whom we meet here is the poet. Here me refers to the poet. So now the thing is, what is hemlock tree? Hemlock tree, it's a poisonous tree, and that too it bears a flower of white in color. Now the question arises, generally in poems, in stories, in fictional, other form of fictional stories, we have seen always poet uses and authors using beautiful birds and beautiful flowering plants, but here the poet has used this too ill ominous object. There is some reason behind it. Now what's the reason? The reason is it is used symbolically. It's a symbol over here. It symbolizes the melancholy mood of the poem in this paragraph as well as of poet. The poet is not in a happy mood. He is sad, he is gloomy, he is unhappy. Now why he is unhappy, this is being not discussed in this poem, but it is being said that he was unhappy, he was in regret mood, he was regretting for something, but now due to this incident his mood had changed. Now let's see what's there. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. A crow was sitting on the branches of hemlock tree. Hemlock tree you can see over here in the image. A crow was sitting on the branches and the poet was under this hemlock tree. Now again it's not clear that whether he was standing, sitting or lying. Assume that he was sitting under this hemlock tree and he was pondering, he was lost in his thought. And at that point what happened? The crow which was there on the branches of the hemlock tree, he shook the branches and that branches was covered with snow. It was decked with snow. So as it was shook by the crow, then what happened? The snow which was there on the branches of the tree, it fell down. It came down. And it came down as if it is raining. And that too a rain of snow. So you can imagine the beauty of that scene. And this beautiful scene created some magic. Now let's see what this magic results in. So in this paragraph we can see this is an action. The paragraph full of action. Now what is the repercussion of it? What is the effects and result of it? Let's see in the next paragraph. So that action, what it results in, this is being given over here in this second paragraph. And I think that by looking at this smiley, you can imagine that what changes it has brought and what was the result of that action. I hope you have guessed. Okay. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So that action has given my heart. My again in the first paragraph, me I told you refer to the poet, again my here refer to the poet as well. So that action of crow has given a change in his mood. It has changed his mood. As he shook the branches, snow came down falling as a rain. That beautiful scene distracted him from his agony, from his pain, and he came out of the gloomy part, the sad feeling whatever he had in his mind. And it changed his mood. And as a result what happened? Saved some part of a day I had rued. So before this incident, he had wasted all the time of that day. He had wasted the part of that day. But now, as his mood has changed, now definitely he is in happy mood. He is no more in gloomy mood. So now what will happen? As he is happy, he will utilize his time in some of productive work. It's a human psychology. It happens to everyone. When we are sad, when we are unhappy, we are unable to do any activity. We become neutral. Similarly here, the poet, he was neutral when he was sad. But as soon as his mood changed, now he says that now whatever time has been wasted, but now I will use the remaining time in a productive manner. So that action of crow has brought two changes. The first change is that it has changed the mood of the poet. The second change is that is it has saved the part of that day. It has saved the time of the poet. This is the two results of the action of the poet. So this is how you can see that it's a so insignificant incident. It's quite common. It's nothing uncommon in this. But this small incident has saved the part of day of the poet, and most importantly, it has changed his mood. He has become happy now. And any activity or any action which makes a person happy, you know that it's priceless. So that insignificant thing, that bad omen, ill omen, brought a significant change in the mood of the poet. So no matter what the thing is, but we should always look at the positive aspect of it. And we face a number of incidents in our day-to-day life. Instead of ignoring it, the poet says that we should try to learn lesson from it. So the poet through this poem has given two messages. That is, the first is the healing power of nature. The nature has got ultimate power to heal every pain, every suffering. It is being said that nature and time heals everything. And the second is hope. We should never lose our hope. We should always be optimistic. We should never grow pessimist. This is all about this poem. Now let's move toward the literary devices used in this poem. So the literary device used in this poem is, first of all, the rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B. So the rhyme scheme is A, B, A, B. Now in the first paragraph, I said you why crow and hemlock tree has been used. So it has been used to symbolize the melancholy note and the mood of the poet. Therefore, it functions as a literary device and it is known as symbol. Now again, another thing, that is the whole paragraph gives a scene, it creates a scene in your mind. That there is a hemlock tree, a crow is sitting over it, and it is decked with snow, and a person is sitting under that tree. So it gives an image, it creates an image. Again, it forms a figure of speech and it is known as imagery. Another figure of speech used over here is, in second line you can see O sound is prominent. Suk, down, on. O sound is prominent. Again, it forms a literary device and that is known as assonance. Now one more thing you can see over here, that is all the four line, in all the four line you can see that the word shifts to next line without any punctuation mark. Generally what happens, whenever word shifts to another line, what we used to do, we used to punctuate it, but here the word shifts to next line without any punctuation mark and therefore it is regarded as enjambment. It forms a literary devices that is known as enjambment. Moving to next paragraph, I already told you that the rhyming scheme of the poem is AB, AB. Again in this paragraph it forms an image in the mind that a person, the poet who is sitting under the tree while watching the snow falling down from the tree, he is growing happy, he is getting happy. It again form an image that is known as imagery. Now another figure of speech that has been used, that is in the first line you can see has and heart. H sound is prominent. So it forms a literary device that is alliteration. Another figure of speech used in this paragraph is in third line, S sound is prominent. Saved son. S sound is prominent. This is again alliteration. Now again you can see over here in the first three lines of this paragraph, you can see that the word shifts to next line without any punctuation mark. There is no punctuation mark in it. So again it forms a literary device that is known as enjambment. You can see the spelling over here in this box. Okay. So this is all about this poem. If you have any doubt and query, you can write down in the comment box, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you.